We're on.
Tonight, we're going to talk about credit. Credit is important, even for employment. It even determines how much you pay for, believe it or not, auto insurance. But specifically, we're going to talk about where your credit needs to be to buy a house or to refinance a house, and some quick tips on how to improve your credit score. If we haven't met yet, my name is David Brito. I'm a certified retirement counselor and certified financial planner candidate. This is my lovely wife, Monica.
Sup?
We help people simplify their home life, finances, purchase real estate, and help with retirement planning.
So let's talk about credit. How much do you guys know about credit? I know before I got in the business, I knew that I had a credit score, that if I went to JCPenney and applied for a credit card, it better be good, right? In order to get like, what was it back then, like $500 or something when you're 20. So, but that's all I knew. I didn't know what the heck a FICO score was, or what the different bureaus were and things like that. So I finally learned what FICO scores were. It's basically just a number that, you know, determines everything that you have done with your credit, what your credit limits are, if you've made your payments on time, and it's kind of the determining factor of whether or not you're going to be granted any credit or not. So there's three different credit bureaus. One is Experian, one is TransUnion, and one is Equifax, and each of them score differently. So sometimes you're going to notice you're going to run one credit bureau and the scores are going to be completely different. And that could be for a variety of reasons. It could be that there's an error on your credit report, that maybe one payment is not, you know, going through on one bureau. So, I mean, there's a variety of different reasons. But for mortgages, what we use to basically determine what score we're going to use on your mortgage, it's called the mid-FICO score. So basically we take all three of those bureaus and we find the one that's in the middle, and that's the score that we use to determine what your rate's going to be. So let's see, what should your rate, or what should your credit score be? Well, at 700, you're pretty much golden. At 720, you're even prettier. Kind of like me,
Just
right,
like
David?
you. Just like you.
Oh, he's so sweet. So now you don't have to have a 720 to get a mortgage. You're probably looking at me like, yeah, right, Monica, what if I don't even have a score that's anywhere close to that? Well, anything above a 620 is pretty much doable. And yes, there are loans out there with lower, but what I like to see is a 620, because it makes my life easier, it makes your life easier, and we're able to slam dunk this mortgage and get it done for you. So let's talk a little bit more about, okay, I need to buy a house in like a month. What do I do because my score is right below where it needs to be in order for me to get this house? So there's a couple of quick tips that we can talk about as far as improving your credit score really quickly. One of those tips is look at your credit report. Like, that's number one, right, David?
Yeah.
So a lot of times people are like, I don't even know what's on there. Like, I have, you know, a few credit cards. I don't know what I owe on them, or I make my payments every month, so my credit might be good. But how do you know unless you check out your report? So you are actually allowed a free annual credit report every year that you can get very easily. There's different sites that do it. One of them is annualcreditreport.com. So it's absolutely free. You can see what your score is. You can see what you owe. You can see how much your limits are. And it's good to check that out because sometimes there's mistakes on there. I just talked to somebody the other day who told me that there was like a huge credit card that they had that it wasn't theirs. And she had awesome credit, but this was on there. So she needed to take care of that because it was counting against her debt to income ratio. So so that's, you know, something you want to do.
That's
and
the
if
first step.
Yeah, and if you see something on there, you can dispute it very easily. There's a form online. If you have the time to do that, usually that takes over 30 days to go ahead and have that removed from your credit score. But it's something that you should do. So step number one, check your credit report out, check for discrepancies. And then secondly, my biggest tip is how much money do you owe versus how much your credit limit is. So yeah, we might have all had an old Navy card at some point and our limit was, I don't know, $500, and we went on a shopping spree one weekend and we now owe $480. Well, that kind of messes up your credit score because you want to be only at 20% or less of what you actually owe. So if you need to improve your credit score really, really, really fast, pay down your credit cards to 20% or less. And might not always be easy. It's easier said than done, right? I mean, you got to come up with the cash, but especially on those little cards that you have low limits, you just want to pay them down because those are the culprits right there. Those are the ones that we mess up on because we're like, oh, we have a $500 limit. Oh, I only owe $100. Well, that's 20% right there. So, yeah, so those are just some quick tips for you for today. We're whining today. We actually had our wine. And if you're ready to work with us, we can help you. Definitely check out that credit report. Find out where those discrepancies lie. Maybe you're like, I'm completely clueless. I need your help. We can definitely help you. I will post the link below for one of our 30-minute credit sessions. And you can always visit us on thatsimplelife.com. If you're ready to buy a house or refinance, we can totally help you with that too. So, hope everybody has a good evening. Any last words, David?
That's it.
All right.
Simplelife.com.
Good night, guys.